I want to describe the situation we're in this state and in this country right now by just giving you two numbers to give you a sense of what has happened in this country and in Wisconsin since last fall's economic meltdown. Let me just give you this number. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of economic numbers, but this one is sobering. In April of this year, our big tax collection month, we collected 35% less revenue than we did in April of 2008. In just 1 year, the income tax revenue, meaning people's income, had fallen by 35%. And and when we saw those numbers, I wanted to make sure if they were real. So we called all the other states to see what was happening. And in fact, that's the average decline that happened in states all across the United States. 35% decline. The second number is one that affects so many of our friends and neighbors and relatives. The second number is unemployment. We all know this. Wisconsin is a hard-working state. Now, we've talked a little about the Green Bay Packers tonight, but you know the reason I think that there is such a strong attachment between the Green Bay Packers and the people of the state of Wisconsin? It's because Green Bay has always played football the way we work. They play hard, they play straightforward, and they go and do what they are supposed to do, and that's what we do. People work hard in this state. And generally in Wisconsin, we're a low unemployment state. You know, up until September of last year, our unemployment rate was about 4%, one of the lowest in the country. Even through most of 2008, as the country was in what we called a recession then, we didn't know what was about to hit us, but Wisconsin was doing okay. Our exports were up, our manufacturing is up, our agricultural economy was strong. It wasn't a great time. We had some real hard knocks. GM announcing closing the Janesville plant, paper mills closed. We'd had some hard times, but we were getting through it okay. And then September hit us. The meltdown of the financial markets, the freezing up of credit, the collapse of consumer credit and consumer confidence. And the fact is, our economy across this country began to shrink. And in just 6 months, our unemployment rate grew from 4 to over 9%. We haven't seen an increase like that since the Great Depression. But let's not ever think that that unemployment number is a number. What that number is real people. People who have been out working hard, who now find themselves in very difficult circumstances. The worst consequences of our country's economic collapse is that many of our very best workers here in Wisconsin and across the country have lost their jobs. It means that highly skilled men and women who months before were the foundation of leading companies are now unemployed. And let me tell you what makes me really angry about all of this for the people in Wisconsin who have lost their jobs. These were not people who were hyperinflating the real estate market. These, I assure you, were not people who were dealing in credit default swaps. These were not people who were engaged in fraudulent banking practices. These were people who got up every day and went to work and gave people an honest day's work, and through no fault of their own, are now paying an incredibly high price for 8 years of bad decision-making in Washington and too many unchecked schemes on Wall Street. So,